Welcome to the Epcotian Adventure,
a podcast where we talk about all things Disney, but we're Epcot-centered.
including tips and tricks, festivals and favorites, and the very latest in our rankings and reviews.
But we're still old enough to remember when Universal was only one park, and it was in California.
This is episode 109, our Epic Universe wish list, and why we booked Disney instead.
Or Dragons, Wands, and Monsters? Yep, Figment, Mickey, and Sully.
So now please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast as we embark on our Epcotian Adventure.
We call it Epcot.
Howdy folks, and welcome to episode 109 of the Epcotian Adventure. I'm Rod.
And I'm Sue.
And today we're going to drive across Orlando to a brand new theme park, Universal's Epic Adventure. No, Universal's Epic Universe. Universal's Epic Big Theme Park that is over on Sand Lake Road. That's what it's called.
Adventure of Epicness.
That's the one. Epic Universe is the brand new park that just opened back on May 22nd and is Universal's fourth gate. That's crazy. They have 4 parks now.
If
I'm
you
counting the
include
water park.
Well, the water park, yes.
Well, they count the water park, so I'm counting the water park. 'Cause I know like at Disney, they say 4 theme parks, 2 water parks. Really, at Universal, it's 3 theme parks and 1 water park. But this new theme park is the first major park in Orlando to open since Islands of Adventure. That's like in the 1900s.
Whoa.
I know, way back when.
Ancient times. You can read about that in scrolls and such.
Yeah, I think they found some buried underneath SeaWorld the other
Tablets,
day that
yes.
mentioned when it opened. Yeah. Scary.
So yeah, if you've been listening to any kind of social media, any sort of vloggers, bloggers, podcasts, everybody's talking about Epic Universe right now. We are super excited to experience Epic Universe, so we just kind of wanted to throw in our 2 cents, the things that we are most excited about. This is it by no means going to be a comprehensive list of everything that's there. We're going to leave that to the people who are actually getting to experience it right now.
The people that live there.
Right, exactly, and have been invited to press events and all. For some reason, we weren't invited.
Yeah, no, that's
so
kind of rude.
strange.
I don't know. I mean, we have tens of listeners.
We do,
You
and
would
you are
think.
one of them, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Very nice.
But we did want to address Epic Universe because it is so huge right now. It's a huge piece of the theme park world. And because it is so close to Disney, it's very much doable within a Disney trip. So we want to talk about some of the things that we are most looking forward to because there is a lot. This park it's 750 acres, which is very large compared to their other 2 parks, which are 108 acres and 125 acres.
Yeah, that acreage, though, does encompass things that Universal Studios as a whole does, too, as a resort. So the 750 acres includes the parking lot, it includes the maintenance areas. It is away from the current other 3 parks. It's
like when
literally
you're
across
counting-
the freeway. Yeah.
It's like when you're counting the acreage of Animal Kingdom versus Magic Kingdom, you have to include all those backstage enclosures and such. So
Exactly. Plus, it also encompasses 3 brand new hotels.
it does.
I'm very excited for those hotels. They
So
look amazing.
those are Terra Luna, Stella Nova, and Helios Grand. Terra Luna and Stella Nova are both what they are calling prime value, so sort of like a value plus resort.
Yeah, the Aventura is a good example of one that's in that class currently.
Yeah. And then Helios Grand is the signature collection, and this is like premium plus.
Yeah, like the Hard Rock.
This one actually does have an entrance directly into Epic Universe too. So it's like at the gate like Disneyland Paris or like Grand Californian for Disneyland. So take those into consideration when you're looking at prices. We are not going to tell you prices on the hotels. They have been changing, and they change quite a bit throughout the year. So if you are interested in those, look those up. I mostly want to stay at Stella Nova, so I hope we get to book that when we finally do our trip. Fingers crossed.
So yeah, we have not actually gone to the park yet. We're currently planning a trip. So part of what we'll talk about in future episodes is how to plan a trip to Epic Universe. Right now, we're really just looking at a wish list of things that we've seen other people talk about, things that Universal's talked about, and things that we know we want to make sure that are going to be must-dos for each of the universes? Is it
Portals.
portals?
They're portals.
For Epic Universe. So Let's talk a little bit about ticket pricing. Right now, you can buy a one-day ticket starting at $139 for adults, $134 for kids. This goes up dramatically if you're talking about Christmas or if you're talking about Labor Day weekend. Right now, one-day tickets are available through the end of the year, but you can book a package that includes tickets all the way through December of 2026 currently. And again, this is as of June 2025. Packages there will include Epic Universe as a one-day on a multi-day ticket, however, still. So just note that if you're buying a package, you're getting one day at Epic, and then the other days are going to be Park Hopper or one day only at the other two parks or the other three parks, depending on the type of package you buy.
And again, that is currently, like, as of today. That will change. I guarantee that will change. It's already changed a couple times on how you can purchase tickets for the new park, so just keep an eye on those when you're ready to book.
My guess is that'll probably change towards the end of summer, because that's traditionally when, crowds drop off in Orlando, because it's still really, really hot. And, it's a new park, and a lot of people like us, I think, are going to wait and book something later on. We'll talk about that at the end, though. Yeah. Well, let's jump into the park itself. The park is, from what we've seen, is just absolutely gorgeous. It literally is a park setting as you walk in. Now, each of the lands here are separated by portals. So when you first walk in, you've got what they call the Chronos. And this is the main entrance of the park. As you walk in, it's like something out of Jules Verne meets Doctor Who, I guess is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be like a time portal that takes you to a different time and place. Celestial Park is their main street. And what a main street.
It's also its own portal.
Yeah, it's the first portal you enter.
It's your first land. So when you enter and you see the Chronos at the very top, there's a spinning sort of time turner kind of aspect, and it spins. It harnesses the energy of those coming in, which allows it to open the portals. That is the backstory. So you are a traveler. You are a time traveler when you come here, which I just think is a fun idea. You're going to have 5 different portals to choose from, including that Celestial Park that you were just mentioning. There's also How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, Dark Universe, Super Nintendo World, and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic.
Yeah, because it's a universal park. Of course there's a Harry Potter area.
Yay.
It's required. I'm surprised there's not a Harry Potter water slide over a Volcano Bay, to tell you the truth.
There will be eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
So let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start, from what I hear. So, Celestial Park, let's start there.
Well, we're not going to tell you everything that exists within these lands, because that would take us hours or days probably at this point. We are going to talk about our wish list, though, and the wish list includes...
Well, and let's talk about, like, the overall vibe.
Oh,
like,
well, that's a great
idea. What you
idea.
can expect. Like you said, they were using Celestial Park to bring the park back into theme park. They were inspired by a lot of European theme parks, European parks in general. So you're going to see a lot of Art Nouveau style architecture. It is absolutely gorgeous. There's lots of water features. There's lots of trees and fountains and shade and wandering pathways. And there's a huge fountain that does shows throughout the day and at the night. And there's just a whole lot of beauty surrounded.
A lot of open space. A lot of places to just sit and rest and take in the beauty of the park. And this park is gorgeous from what we've seen so far, and it's just opening. I can't wait until everything fills in over the next few years.
Yeah, some of those baby trees that they've planted are going to be big shade trees. It's going to be so, so pretty. This is one of those parks that I hope only gets better.
So Celestial Park is, like I said, almost like Main Street, but there are 2 attractions as you walk in. There is the Constellation Carousel, which we'll talk about a little bit later, because we're talking about some night stuff here in a bit, and this one looks amazing at night. And the Stardust Racers roller coasters, plural, because it's actually a 2-track racing roller coaster. And again, at night. I can't wait to see these places at night. But to me, the big things on my wish list are the restaurants in Celestial Park. There's a ton of restaurants. There's an ice cream shop. There's a bow walk-up location. The 2 main sit-down restaurants, though, Atlantic, which is a seafood restaurant, and Blue Dragon, which is an Asian fusion restaurant. These are on the top of my list to eat, I think, anywhere in the U.S. right now, because these are going to give Mythos a run for the money.
I think they're going to blow Mythos out of the water, and we love Mythos. So just to give you a brief overview of some of the things that we're looking forward to at Blue Dragon, Rod, do you have something in mind?
Well, for me, it's going to be the fact that they have small plates and dim sum. Being able to get that in a restaurant, in a theme park, without having to order, a large $40 entree, I can't wait. But for me, the small plates, they have a double fried Korean wing that is just a crunchy gochujang flavored wing that's just crunchified beyond belief from what we've seen. That one is way up there on my list.
And for me, I'm looking forward to the peanut shrimp noodles. Crispy shrimp, pan-fried noodles, shiitake mushrooms, gai lan. I'm not even sure what that is, but I want it. Thai peanut sauce and toasted coconut. It sounds so good to me, and the quality from what we've seen is way, way up there. Stuff that you would never expect to see inside a theme park. So very excited. Love Pan-Asian in general, so very, very much looking forward to that. And for Atlantic, one of the things that I am most looking forward to is actually on their appetizers menu. So this is going to be sort of like a small plates, which we just love. So it's the ahi tuna tartare, and this is watermelon, avocado, cucumber, sesame seeds, and a truffle yuzu sauce. And that just sounds absolutely incredible to me.
Also on their entrees, the grilled Atlantic salmon and the Atlantic filet mignon, because I'm a steak guy. From everything I've seen on both of these dishes, they look just absolutely amazing. Again, we're not going to go through every little piece of the puzzle on this for you, simply because we just don't have the time. And we haven't been there yet. This is our wish list. So going off of what we've seen from other podcasts and other vlogs and the menu itself, this is our wish list for these restaurants. I cannot wait.
What? Sorry.
No.
I got all excited. While we're talking about restaurants, we're also going to bring up one more that is in Celestial Park, and that is Pizza Moon. This one has decor that has to be seen to be believed. It is so much fun. It's like one of those cutout books that you open and the picture comes out of the book. Everything is done in that sort of style, but with an Art Nouveau twist. It is so fun in there. And the menu looks incredible, and promoting theme park pizza isn't a norm for us, so I'm kind of curious, but it all just looks amazing. The one that's getting the most love right now is called Pizza Lunar, and it is a roasted garlic bechamel, fromage de lune, so moon cheese, ricotta, pancetta, garlic confit, and it has a purple celestial ube crust. And if you've been listening for us for a while, I am a sucker for anything ube, so very much looking forward to this one. It's getting a lot of love right now.
Beyond that, too, there's a bar called the Plastered Owl. I just have to see this just because of the name. So at the Plastered Owl, they have a drink called the Plastered Owl that I'm dying to try. It's dark rye whiskey, lemon juice, simple syrup, a filthy black cherry syrup, muddled lemon wedges, and cocktail cherries with an orange twist. It's right up my alley. I love a good whiskey drink. This is basically an old-fashioned plus. And I'm dying to try this. Again, we've seen other people give their opinions of these, and I'm trusting their opinion because, wow, I can't wait.
I'm excited to try these ones. So in addition to that, you did mention a couple of attractions, so we're going to talk about those. The Constellation Carousel is a very whimsical, again, very stylized in this whole 1920s, 1930s sort of vibe that's going on.
Yeah, the big difference between this and a regular carousel is that the vehicles that you're in, I say vehicles because there's actual like little ride vehicles along with horses and other animals that you can ride, but they lift up from the ground up as opposed to being pulled up and down from the roof.
And some of them you get up to 6 feet in the air on these things.
It looks so fun. It looks fun during the day, but at night.
This whole land comes alive at night, and we want to see the whole portal at nighttime, but this ride in particular, it also has smaller discs that your animals go on, so they circle amongst the bigger circle of the carousel. Kind of have to see it to understand what I'm talking about, but it looks like so much fun. I mean, it's still just a carousel at the end of the day. It's a carousel, but it just looks like whimsy. I like the whimsy.
And then, of course, we mentioned Stardust Racers. It's the dual track racing coaster. This one plays with the other trains. So if you've seen Twisted Colossus at Magic Mountain, or what's another good racing coaster out there? Maybe the Racer at Kennywood, where the trains interact with each other. This is that same type of coaster, but It weighs the trains. It knows how to launch them so that the trains literally stay side by side throughout the entire ride. The best part at night, on the back of the trains, there's the flux capacitor on the back of each train running each of the trains. It's brilliant. It's a little Easter egg from an attraction that's not even at this park. But
from IP that's not even at that park.
No, I love it. But you Back to the Future fans will get a kick out of the fact that Stardust Racers apparently is run by flux capacitors.
I love that. That's so clever. And this is one of those rides that, again, like you were hinting at, it does change at night in that rather than the track lighting up, the cars light up. So when you're watching it, it actually does mimic the idea of two like comets racing, which I just think is so fun. So you kind of have to ride this one 4 times at least. So you're getting the yellow and the green during the day, and you get the yellow and the green at night.
I love that. Well, let's hop over to the biggest of the lands, and this is How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk. And to be honest, this is the part of the park that I am most looking forward to seeing.
Me too.
I cannot wait. I'm a huge fan of the films. Sue, I think you've read the books, didn't you?
I haven't listened to all of them, but I've listened to the audiobooks.
Oh, okay.
Because they're read by David Tennant. So, yeah.
So, the Isle of Berk area literally is the Isle of Berk. Look at the movies, the DreamWorks films, and then you walk into this amazing area that is, I don't want to say an exact copy, but it's an exact copy. You swear you're walking into the film.
And you have the music score going from the movie, and you have the characters walking around just greeting people. It really does engulf you in this universe, and I just absolutely love that when they are able to pull that off. This is also the one I'm looking most forward to, and I cannot wait to. I love dragons in general. I love Toothless in particular.
And you get to meet Toothless.
Oh my gosh. I am going to cry. I guarantee it. I've cried just watching other people meet him. So when I get to do it myself, I'm going to be a mess.
Yeah, Hiccup and Toothless. And sometimes it's Astrid. Yeah. This looks to be one of the best meet and greets ever created. That's the only way I can put it. It's a life-size actual dragon.
You're meeting Toothless.
You're meeting Toothless.
So excited for that. That is absolutely number 1 on my list for this entire park. Also excited to see the show, which is the Untrainable Dragon. And again, features Toothless and spoilers, but he does fly. Super excited to see that.
This is a copy of the version at Universal Beijing, but thank heavens this one's not in Chinese. This is in English.
A little easier to understand.
There may be a little Burkish in there too. I don't know. Yeah.
If you do want to see the entire show from Beijing, you can watch Ordinary Adventures has it on their channel, and it is pretty spectacular. Can't wait to see it in English.
However, I would recommend, if you're a fan of How to Train Your Dragon, don't watch it.
Yes.
Go see it live.
That is an excellent point, yes.
So this area really is the details. There's Easter eggs galore all over the place in every shop and every restaurant. Their biggest restaurant is Mead Hall, right out of the movie.
And you actually do get to sit at the big long tables. There's actually tables up on the dais that you can sit on next to the throne. You're welcome to sit in the throne. You only have to borrow it. You cannot, claim the throne as your own. That's bad. But they do have Viking-inspired fare. Including these humongous turkey wings. It's called Gobber the Belch's turkey wings, because we're talking about How to Train Your Dragon. And these are just Viking-sized turkey wings, basically. It's got a wild berry barbecue sauce that covers it. Comes with herb garlic potatoes, roasted carrots, and onions. I cannot wait to try this. And I've heard the salmon's really good, too. The one that I want to try most is actually a salmon sandwich called the Solon Sea Sandwich, and it has pickled cucumbers, zesty horseradish dill cream on a pumpernickel Kaiser bun, and a side of ancient grains with sun-dried berries. This sounds right up my alley. I am so excited to try this one. So we're definitely going to have to go hang out in Mead Hall for a little while. And they actually serve mead. Oh, yeah. So you can actually get mead that was made for the park, which I just love. Yeah, as far as attractions go, they've got a roller coaster. So, hey, here we go. Hiccup's Winged Gliders. It looks like a fun family coaster, but from everything I've been told, it's probably about the same as Hagrid's over at Islands of Adventure. So it's got a little more kick to it. A little more kick, yeah. Another thing that we're looking forward to at Isle of Burke is definitely the merch. If you are a Toothless fan like we are, there's everything you can imagine, of course. And it just looks like so many cute things. And I can't wait to come home with something with Toothless's face on it because he's just so stinking cute. Can't wait. And of course you can get the headbands, like Mickey ears that you can put the different characters on. And yeah, they've got the whole thing.
So let's jump into the next portal, which is Harry Potter.
The Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Ministry of Magic.
That's the one. They always make these really long here.
They
I don't
do.
know why, but this is a French 1920s or 1940s, I think.
So more of the Fantastic Beasts world.
Right.
So
right.
We're seeing Paris in the 1920s.
But this has the attraction that everybody's talking about, and that is Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. Now, this thing has, from what I've heard, over 5 hours of queue inside the building. And they filled it the other day. So
don't go on it if that's the case.
Wow.
Just wait.
Just make sure you're checking your times on this one. But it is a recreation of the Ministry building from the more modern Harry Potter series. So as you go in, you enter through what they call the Metro Flu, which is a larger version of the Flu powder-powered transportation systems, I guess you would say, that you've seen in the films and books.
But this one has like a time turner element because you are going to not only travel through space, you are going to travel through time. And just don't ask too many questions.
Right.
It's fine. Just go with it.
But when you go in, it's basically it's going to be the elevators. They're like Wonka-vators, I guess is the best way to put it. But the elevators that you see in the films in the Ministry of Magic that go up and down and
sideways and slantways and long ways and back ways and
front
square
ways?
ways and front ways and any other ways that you can think of.
And you're there for the trial of Umbridge.
I'm so excited. Obviously, Dolores Umbridge is the absolute worst and she needs to be held accountable. So you get to go to her trial and obviously nothing goes wrong. It's totally good.
No, it never does on Universal attractions.
No Death Eaters come to get you. It's fine. So, but I am so excited. I'm just as excited to see the queue as I am for the ride on this one. It just looks absolutely incredible beginning to end. Cannot wait.
Now, like the other Harry Potter areas too, the streetmosphere here is going to be impeccable. They have people from the Ministry of Magic that are walking around checking your credentials and giving you tips on how to cast spells. There's a group of exchange students that will come around and ask you if you found any magical creatures in the area.
And they are there'll be one from the French Beauxbatons school because you're in France at the time, so they are the locals leading the way. And then they'll also have students from Hogwarts, so that would be the English schools, and Ilvermorny, which is the American school. So they are traveling in groups around, and they'll just stop and ask you questions and show you. Some of them even have the book of, what's it called? The Book of Monsters. Dang it.
The book
that tries to eat you.
Yeah.
I should really know what that is, and I don't.
One of the best ones that I've seen on video so far is the lady that makes the wands for this region.
Yes.
What's her name?
Cosme Akayor? Akahor? No, that's probably not it.
Akalaka Ding Dong.
Cosme. We're going with Cosme.
We'll go with that. She's the wand purveyor in this area. So there's not an Ollivanders, but there is a French lady who creates unique wands that can only be purchased in this area.
And I love that wands in French are baguette magique. They're magic baguettes. That's brilliant.
No idea. That's brilliant. I love it.
Speaking of baguettes, let's talk about the food in the Harry Potter universe because it looks extraordinary. Because, of course, we're in France.
After all, miss, this is France.
Which means butterbeer in French. Beer de butter.
Bière au beurre.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
It sounds very French. Yeah, we'll go with that. But they have butterbeer crepes. Yeah, I said it. Butterbeer crepes.
They also have a quiche that looks incredible. They have a lemon berry crepe.
Oh, my heavens.
They have other kinds of crepes. They have sandwiches with cheese and ham and all the good stuff on those really good French bread baguettes. This is all at the Café La Sirène, and it looks Absolutely incredible. So super excited for that. They also have a couple of bars.
One of the places I'm looking forward to, though, is called Bar Moonshine. It's an American bar. It's an American moonshine bar in France in 1920, 30, 40. I don't get it. Anyway,
I love it.
It's going to have some very unique, very highly alcoholic drinks. So, if I'm going to wait in 5 hours for an attraction, I'm going to need that.
I think moonshine and absinthe and highly potent ingredients
Yeah.
and really fun colors, and it's Harry Potter-esque to look at. So very enjoyable. I can't wait to try that one out.
They have one that's kind of like the Three Broomsticks and
yes.
the Leaky Cauldron. It's called Le Goblet Noir. Am I even close?
Yeah, that was good.
The Black Goblet.
And I'm also super excited about the merch.
Oh, of course.
Because there's new Harry Potter merch.
Yeah, and most of it is unique to this area, to this park. Well, as you head counterclockwise, you run into Dark Universe, which is going to be the portal for the Universal Monsters. I'm not a big fan of the Universal horror films, so...
They just don't have a lot of nostalgia for us as a basic premise.
Well, as a family, we never really got into the horror films. Now, the thing here, though, is the technology and the theming. This is all based on a town that they created of Darkmoor. So during the day, you can go in and you can visit the locations and see it's hard to see the Invisible Man, but he's there. You actually can meet the Invisible Man.
He's wrapped in bandages like he is in the film, so you can see him.
And very rude, from what I've heard.
Oh,
and
he's got things to do.
He has some issues, I'll put it that way. And you can also meet Frankenstein's monster and
the missus.
The bride. But it's at night when this place shines. There are 2 restaurant locations. One is called the Burning Blade Tavern, where every 15 minutes you can see the lights of a mob with their torches coming up to set it on fire. And it does. It lights up, and the blades of the windmill above this restaurant catch on fire every 15 minutes.
And that is straight out of the Frankenstein movie.
Oh, yeah. Then the other restaurant's called Das Steakhouse. And oddly enough, it has steak. Weird, yeah.
No.
It has one steak thing. Like one steaky.
But it's not a steakhouse.
It's not a steakhouse.
It's Stake. It's a little play on words.
Well, it's run by...
Because you're monsters.
Yeah, it's run by like Dracula and his familiars, as they call it.
Yes, you don't have waitstaff. You are being served by Dracula's familiars. So they may seem a little distant, but it's all part of the plan. It's okay.
The main thing in this whole land, though, is Dr. Frankenstein's castle. It's being inhabited by his great-granddaughter, I think it is. Victoria Frankenstein.
It's pronounced Frankenstein.
And Igor.
No, it's pronounced Igor.
Yeah, it's, dark is the only way I can put this. But the attraction is based on the same ride system as Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, but less nauseating from what I've heard. But let's just say that things that are going on inside this castle are not for the faint of heart.
She's running some experiments. It is called Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment. You're going to get to see her in the queue. You're going to get to see Frankenstein's monster in the queue. And she's going to introduce to you a new experiment that she's run where she has trained the monsters to be gentle, that we are their friends.
These people are friends.
She can't quite convince Dracula.
And again, what could go wrong?
Exactly.
So this
sure,
is a very dark attraction, a very dark land, and this is one to be seen after dark. So I can't wait to see it
now,
with all the lighting.
You can go during the day, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But you're going to run into townspeople, and you're going to run into monster hunters, and you're going to run into Igor, who's collecting some spare parts in his bag. Don't look in the bag. And
arms and legs and hands, yeah.
And you'll see the well in the middle of town. Again, don't ask too many questions, because at night you're going to see that well doesn't actually contain water. So
I'm afraid to know what is in it, but it's trying to get out.
And it's red and smoky, so there's stuff going on. But at night, the music changes, the lighting changes. Some of the monsters start to come out. It's a whole vibe. If you are a Halloween person, this is where you want to set up residence. For us, we want to see it, but I'm a little scared. I'm a little trepidatious. So we'll see how that goes, but definitely have to go on Monsters Unchained.
Heading on around, we end up in the last portal, which is going to be Super Nintendo World. But this one has an add-on feature. So if you've seen the one in Hollywood, you've seen the land with Peach's Castle and
Mushroom Kingdom.
The Mushroom Kingdom. Amazing, amazing, right out of the video game. But you enter through the portal through one of the pipes, and so you have all of the sound effects and everything that you grew up with as kids, or if you're a kid, ask your parents. But the old Nintendo NES and all the stuff that we grew up with, this is right out of your childhood.
But then, the added part.
They added on Donkey Kong Country. And this has the premier coaster, I think, for the entire park. And it's called Minecart Madness. From the outside, it really looks like you're on a video game ride. And think of it as part dark ride, part coaster. So it's not a real wild ride, although I've heard it actually is wilder than it looks. But it does look like it jumps the track and follows what would be like a Donkey Kong video game.
They also have the Yoshi's Adventure Dark Ride, where you collect the eggs, and they have the Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, where you get to drive in Mario Kart and challenge Rainbow Road, which they have at the other parks around the world, but I cannot wait to do those because I haven't done those other ones in other locations.
If you've seen any videos from the other lands, too, that exist around the world, really, you can see where you can buy a power band. Power bands are kind of like the magic bands that you have at Disney, but they're not used for charging things. They're used for gaining coins. You get to actually go into the world of Mario and Luigi and Princess Peach.
And Yoshi.
And Yoshi, and find these giant blocks and go up and go with your power band and collect coins. And it shows them to you in your profile on the Universal app.
And you can play mini games as well, which is like the best part of all the Mario Party games is getting those mini games. And you can play them in real life and earn coins, and it tracks your progress, and you can unlock new experiences by beating the games. And the whole thing is basically putting you right in a video game. I am so excited. This is one of those lands that I think I could spend all day in and just keep collecting coins because I'm a tiny bit competitive when it comes to these things.
That's where it's going to be hard only having one day at Epic Universe, is because all of these portals, you could spend a whole day in just about all of these. I think Dark Universe is probably the smallest of all of them. For
us, it's the least
on
the priority list as
definitely. Well. Yeah, I could spend a whole day just in Burke.
Ditto.
I seriously could. I cannot wait to actually see this park. It is going to be something we're planning a trip for the future. We don't have a time in mind, but this is something that, because it's a new park, why did we book Disney instead?
Because we do have a Disney trip now on the calendar. We chose not to do Epic Universe this summer. We did choose to do Disney instead. So let's talk a little bit about why we chose Disney, even knowing that there are all these things that we're looking forward to at Epic Universe.
Well, I mean, number one, of course, it's a brand new park, so fewer crowds. Unfortunately, for Disney, I think Disney World's going to be kind of dead this summer. Because based on the discounts we've seen on the hotels, which are still available, you can get some really great prices on hotels, even around the holiday periods, Labor Day, July 4. There's still hotel rooms available and for a discount.
If you have Disney Plus.
Yes. Well, they also have a stay longer discount going on right now.
Oh,
so
cool.
There are some very good discounts on hotels. For instance, I priced out July 4th for Savannah View at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Which is like a bucket list.
Yeah, and $384 a night with the Disney Plus discount.
That's less than half price.
Yeah, that's crazy. I love it. But they also had the Polynesian Village bungalows on sale. And the DVCs over at, what was it called, Copper Creek and Boulder Ridge over at Wilderness Lodge on sale. That's unheard of.
So those are opportunities for sure to hit some of those premium rooms that you've always wanted to stay at, making it a tiny bit more affordable. But also, didn't you find All-Star for like $99?
Yeah, for a short time it was available. It's now sold out at that rate. But
of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know when those are going to pop back up again. So keep an eye out if that's something. It's a way to do a really cheap trip as well.
Well, and, anytime it's something that's brand new, especially a park with so many moving parts, waiting a year or even 6 months just to let them work out the kinks, I think is a really good way to go. the first year issues that they're going to have with the attractions and just getting everything working properly, that happens every time there's a new park. I mean, talk about Disneyland's opening, where the women's shoes were sinking into the asphalt and they had the choice between getting toilets running and getting the drinking fountains running. This is probably not going to be that much of a problem, but we're talking new technology. We're talking new training, new trained people. So giving it 6 months to a year, in my opinion at least, is a good way to go for a new park like this.
Exactly. It's like when you're opening a show when you're in the theater and you don't necessarily want your friends to come to opening night. You want them to come a little later in the run. So we're giving them that courtesy. But also, if you are going to actually go out and brave the Orlando summer heat, there's nothing wrong with hitting highlights and making it a more familiar thing, which is one of the reasons we chose Disney. We don't want to see all the new things when we're already overwhelmed by the weather. We want to be able to enjoy what we're seeing. And for us, summertime in Orlando is not the time to do that.
Yeah, listen to our episode on how to have a chill day at Epcot. That's the kind of adventure we are looking for this time of year.
Yes, or even early on when we're talking about how to beat the heat. All those things will help, but it's not going to take away that brutal July, August weather.
Well, and at the end of the day, we booked Disney over Epic because it's Disney World. Come on.
It's home.
Disney World is home. So we are the Epcotian Adventure. We love our Epcot. We love our Disney World parks. Yes, we do love the Universal parks because we've done episodes on those already, and we're going to continue to do those, including we will do an Epic Universe episode when we have been there.
Yes. But overall, Disney just has the IP that we connect with more. It's our childhood. Like we said, we don't have a connection with the Dark Universe monsters, the traditional Frankenstein, Dracula.
You like the Harry Potter stuff, though, so much.
I do.
So, and I love the Isle of Berk stuff. I know you do, too.
I do, too.
There's enough there to definitely want to put it on the trip planning.
Eventually.
Yeah.
But for now, we'll stick to Disney.
Before we go, we'd like to give a big thank you to our theme music composer, Jason Patrick Rowan, whose music is licensed through Pond 5. And of course, thank you, Phoenicians.
Thank you, Phoenicians. And don't forget to rate, review, like, share, and subscribe. It really does help other people find us. You can find us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts.
The Epcotian Adventure is a $1,000 brunch production and a proud gold member of D23. Thanks for joining us today for episode 109 of the Epcotian Adventure. I'm Rod.
And I'm Sue.
And we'll see you at Epic Universe.
Bye.
Thank the Phoenicians.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to 109... No.
Beers on the Wall.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those episodes, isn't it? Okay, here we go again.